What's going on, fam? In this video, we'll be breaking down exactly what you need to be disciplined, how to stay disciplined, and how to become the highest version of yourself. Let's get into it. All right, now up until this point, you have to understand there are two versions of you, right? You have your current reality, or where you are right now, and you have your desired reality, or the man that you want to become, right? And the difference between these two people are habits, values, and mindset. So there has to be some sort of an internal shift in order for you to get from here to here. So let's say at this very moment, you find yourself out of shape, right? You find yourself out of shape, your habits reflect that of an out of shape person, right? So the way you eat, the way that you hydrate yourself, the way that you train, all of those habits reflect that of somebody that's out of shape. So that has to be shifted in order for you to become the person that you want to be. Same thing with your values. Your values. So the things that you value right now, it may be social media, it may be weed, it may be drinking, it may be your peers' opinions. All of those things are that of a person that's out of shape. So we have to make that internal shift to become the person that we want to be. And last but not least, one of the most important things, your mindset. How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about your journey? Those things reflect that of a person that's out of shape. So all of these things have to be shifted in order for you to truly make that change. It's deeper than just, man, I want to change, and then I'm changing. Because for me, I used to always do that. I used to tell myself, man, I really want to start my fitness journey or start my self-improvement journey, start the journey into becoming the highest version of myself. But I would always just have this idea, and I would rely on motivation to get me there. And I would probably start off strong for like a week, and once that motivation ran out, I would always come back to this guy. So we'll break down exactly how to make this internal shift and how to get to your desired reality or get you to that 8-pack, that muscle body beach look that you want. We'll talk about how to get you there. Let's do it. Let's do it. Man, I can't sing, man. And my handwriting isn't the best, but that's okay. That's okay. No, we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. Let's do it. All right. So in order for us to make this switch, in order for us to make this change, there are two things that have to take place. Two things that have to take place. That's the starting point, right? The first thing is conviction. So deep down inside, you know. And if you're watching this video, you probably already are at this point. Deep down inside, you know there has to be a shift. You have to change. You want better for yourself. You want to be a leader for your family. You want to be the man that God called you to be, that highest version of yourself, that alpha man that God called you to be. There has to be some sort of a conviction. Like, you know this isn't where you want to be. Like, where you are right now, you know this isn't where you want to be. You know you want more for yourself. That's the conviction aspect, right? You know you want change. You know it's time for change. You know you want better. And secondly, is a decision. A decision. So for me, the moment I changed the most is when I told myself, I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm not taking no for an answer. Like, I know I want more for myself, and no matter what, no matter how many times I fail, no matter how many times I fall short, no matter what the people around me are saying, I will get to the person that I want to become, right? So once you have that conviction in your heart that you want to change, you make that decision that yes, it is time to change. I want to change, and I'm not taking no for an answer, right? I'm not taking no for an answer. But understand, this is where most people fail. They have the conviction that they want to change. They look in the mirror. They aren't happy with what they see. They may have fallen into a state of depression. And they know this isn't me. I'm not the highest version of myself. I want change. Then comes a decision, right? We aren't relying on motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's here and it's not, it's here and it's not. But we made the decision that we want to change. And where 90% of guys fail is they rely on motivation from that decision. No. After you have made the decision that you want to change, you aren't taking no for an answer, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. You can't just wing it. You can't just say, I want to change, I'm going to change. You have to have a plan as to how we're going to get from your current reality or the person that you are to your desired reality, the person that you want to become. So let's talk about exactly what that plan will look like so you can avoid that start and stop or that constant, I'm doing it and then I'm not. You can avoid the things that I did. Because I was a guy, I would always say, I'm changing. And for that first week, I would start off strong. And after that week, when things didn't fall the way I wanted them to, I would always stop. And then I found myself probably worse than what I started off at, right? So let's talk about the plan and how we can get you to your desired reality. Woo! Man. One of my toxic traits, I think I can sing, but I don't know. I might be able to sing. You feel me? I come from a family of singers, but I'm probably the only person that can't sing, and it's actually depressing. It's depressing. But maybe I need to put that on my desired reality. But let's focus. Let's focus. So now, when it comes to changing, there are 4 pillars in terms of becoming the man that you want to be, and we'll talk about the details and all that good stuff. Everything goes hand in hand. Mindset, habits, nutrition, and training. So your mindset, that has to be mastered in order for you to change. Your habits, that has to be mastered in order for you to change. Your nutrition has to be mastered. Your training, that has to be mastered. So let's go over all these things in detail. Now, first things first, mindset. Understanding who you are and the power that you possess. And for me, that was establishing a relationship with God. I had to understand that, of course, God gave me power. God created me great, right? God wants me to become the man that I want to become. This isn't just a coincidence. You just don't have those feelings for no reason, right? You know deep down inside what you're supposed to become. So establishing that relationship with God, talking to God, praying, all of those things gave me value. It helped me understand who I am. It's a lot of BS in this world. It's a lot of people around you that might try to tell you who you are, but once you understand who you are with God, everything else will flow. Everything else will flow. God is first and foremost in my life. Everything else will flow. And that starts with prayer. You can start small. Prayer, devotion, taking that time to talk to God and understanding who you are, right? Reading your Bible and understanding what God has for you, the promises that God has for you. That'll give you a whole different mindset, a whole different purpose as to why you're doing what you're doing. And then second, understanding that why. Super, super important. We talk about motivation being fleeting. It's here and it's not. It's here and it's not. But once you establish that why, motivation doesn't matter, right? You have to, why are you doing this whole thing in the first place? That's important. And for most guys, it's like, well, why do you want to lose weight? Starting with the mindset, it's like, if your mindset is, I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose some fat. I just want some abs. If that's your why, that won't be strong enough to carry you. And if you rely on motivation, you'll always find yourself in that start, stop, start, stop. So why are you doing this whole thing in the first place? For me, right? I want it to be a weapon for my family. I want it to be the foundation of what good habits and self-care and self-love look like, so I could leave that for my family and for my daughter, for them to follow, right? It was deeper than just getting in shape and having a six-pack. That why was my family, right? So every time I got discouraged or I failed, I was able to look back at that why. I was able to look at who I was in God, and that carried me through way more than motivation. So between establishing my why and understanding who I was in God, the promises that I have for me, the gifts that God gave me, those things helped me strengthen my mindset, and that became my foundation. That became my foundation. Now that we've strengthened our mindset, right, we have a solid foundation. We understand who we are, right? We understand why we're doing this whole thing. Next, we talk about our habits. Our habits, right? So your body is just a reflection of what you do day in and day out. Your body is just a reflection of your habits. So for me before, when I was out of shape, when I was depressed, I would wake up, first thing in the morning, get on my phone. I'll probably smoke some weed. I was drinking every other day. So my habits led to that of somebody who was depressed and out of shape. I had no choice, right? My habits led me there. So when I made the mental switch to change my habits, that's when everything changed. And your habits will be changed by what? A routine. You have to establish a routine, right? Routine. And your routine should be filled with, we'll start off small. We'll start off with 3 things. Your routine initially should start off with 3 things. 3 things that guarantee every single day that you move the needle, you get this much closer in the areas of your life that you want to improve in, right? So for me personally, 3 areas of my life that I want to improve in. I told y'all, man, I had a bird chest. It's an eagle right now. It ain't a pigeon no more. I had a bird chest, but it's a bird chest. So I needed something in my routine to better my chest or to take care of this problem. Same thing with my relationship with God. That was something that I wanted to change, something I wanted to strengthen, something that I had to put in my routine to better myself, right? And last but not least, I really wanted a defined six-pack. I wanted to look like a gladiator. That was my whole, I wanted this certain look, this certain physique, and I wanted to make it a lifestyle. So me, being shredded was something that I wanted, right? So from this point, I knew the areas in my life that I wanted to improve in. So I needed to establish a routine that ensured that I got this much better every single day in these 3 areas in my life, right? So what was my routine? And for the people that follow me on Instagram, y'all see me do my routine every single day, man. We do it together. My chest. At the time, the most push-ups I could do, at the time, the amount of push-ups I could do was 66. So every single day, I addressed this chest problem by doing 66 push-ups every single morning. I was pushing myself to my best and doing push-ups, right? And that's different than training in terms of training your chest. Push-ups, that's a body weight exercise. You won't overdo it with just doing push-ups. So for me, doing those push-ups every day was something that moved the needle in this area of my life that I wanted to improve in. So I was bettering my chest, bettering the structure of my chest every single day with the push-ups. Same things in terms of getting my relationship right with God. Prayer and devotion were 2 things that I did every single morning to improve or to move the needle in my life to get closer to God every single day. Prayer and devotion. That was important to me. So that became a part of my routine, right? Same thing in terms of getting shredded, right? Getting shredded. The process of converting fats into usable energy, how to burn fat. That's called lipolysis. In order for that process to take place, you have to be hydrated, right? So me making sure that I was hydrated, starting the day off with at least 16 ounces of water. In a given day, I say drink at least 64 ounces, like half a gallon. But starting the day off with at least 16 ounces, I was intentional about being hydrated every morning. That became a part of my routine, right? So now that we have our routine, we see that the push-ups, that helped us address the chest problem. Prayer and devotion, that helped us address being closer to God. The 16 ounces of water, that helped us address being shredded and burning fat, right? So the routine that we had in place, was addressing this every single day. We were getting better every single day. So when I looked up and my abs were more defined, my chest was more developed, I was closer to God, I was happier, I wasn't depressed anymore. It wasn't by coincidence. All of these things were habits that I instilled by my routine, right? And understand, man, I heard this thing, it said it takes 21 days to build a habit. Every day won't be perfect. You may miss one of these things in a day. Like, life gets busy, I understand. You may miss one of these things. You may oversleep. But if you keep showing up with intention, you keep putting your best foot forward. We already told ourselves we aren't taking no for an answer. You keep showing up with this routine, you have no choice but to move the needle in the areas of your life that you want to improve. Like I always say it, man, the goal is here and we're here. If we keep getting this much better every single day, we hit the goal, and it's time to set more goals. We become the man that we want to become, right? Super, super important, man. I can't stress that enough. So now that we have a solid foundation, we built our mindset, we've strengthened our habits, right? Now let's get into nutrition. And in my program, the 180 Method, we go way more in depth in terms of nutrition and what that would look like specifically for you. But we'll keep it simple, like 2 guidelines you can follow just to make sure that you are going in the right direction in terms of nutrition. Now, when it comes to nutrition, making the switch to whole foods was super, super, super important. Like for me, I would always get up, I'm eating the snacks that my kids had. I'm eating a whole bunch of BS that was fast, that seemed easy, right? Things that seemed easy, like BS snacks, Hot Pockets, all that stuff that my body wasn't processing. It was messing up my gut health. It led me to putting on just BS weight, right? Making the switch to whole food. So ask yourself, if you want to know if something is a whole food, if you can't kill it or you can't grow it, don't eat it. Don't eat it. And I stuck to 1 cheat meal per week. 1 cheat meal per week. One time per week where I got to eat what I wanted to, so I didn't feel so restricted. I kept it 1 time, not a day, just that 1 meal. But I stuck to whole foods every other time. So I would ask myself, if I had some in my hand, can I kill this? Can I grow it? If it was ground beef, something you can kill. If it was broccoli, something you can grow. If it was Brussels sprouts, something you can grow. If it was salmon, something you could kill. If it was pizza rolls, you can't kill and grow that. So I'm not eating it, right? So we stuck to whole foods. And incorporating fiber. Most foods in the American diet lack fiber. Fiber will help address insulin, and we'll go over this in a whole nother video, but fiber will help address insulin. It'll keep your blood sugar levels constant. It'll help keep you full so you won't crave BS, right? You won't crave BS. It'll help keep you full, and it'll address insulin in your body. So insulin is a fat storing hormone. We'll go over the specifics in another video. I want to keep this short and sweet, but by bringing down your insulin levels, the fat storing hormones, you stop telling your body to store fat, right? So if you stop telling your body to store fat, you can then address the fat that you have on your body, which is just energy. You can start using that energy and help burn that fat. So 25 grams in a day. 25 grams in a day. So between sticking to whole foods, incorporating fiber, and I would start the day off with a supplement, and I would implement fiber-rich foods in my diet that helped me address nutrition, right? And that helped me get even more shredded. And the last thing, in terms of training, how should you be training your body in the gym, when it comes to what exercises and all that stuff? Now, I won't get into the specifics in terms of exercising. Like when I did my bodybuilding show, I learned so much in terms of each small muscle group and how to get everything to pop. But in terms of training, I won't dive into the specifics right now. Like my clients, they have everything in their program down to the T, and they learn everything. So I don't have to try to teach them everything every single day. Everything is in the program for them to follow. But in terms of training, it should be 3 days at least, 3 days. And the moves depend on exactly where you want to grow, where you want to improve in. But push, pull, and legs. 3 days out of the week where we focus on strength training. Push, that's chest, that's shoulders, and that's triceps, right? That'll give us, and I'll put it here. Chest, shoulders, triceps. Chest, shoulders, triceps. That should be on that push day. In terms of pull, that'll give us back and biceps. Now, rear delts, this specific part, or your back shoulder that's responsible for like good posture, I always count that with back. I know from my people that are fanatics, like, you didn't say rear delts. Like, no, it's in back. Don't do that. So back and biceps, right? That's a day we train those things. And we'll talk about reps and sets, a whole nother video. And last but not least, legs. So that's quads plus glutes plus hamstrings. All of those things are in the given day. So out of the week, we're hitting every single muscle group that improves, that we're strengthening and growing every single area of our body every single week, right? We're challenging ourselves every single week. In another video, we'll talk about reps, sets, training intensity. It's all in my program for my clients, but just to keep it basic, keep it simple right now, short, sweet, push, pull legs every single week, at least those 3 days. And if you're somebody who wants to get more specific in the areas you want to improve in, we can try to kind of rearrange that in terms of specifics when it comes to those things, right? But training, push, pull legs. And then we have our cardio. Now, cardio is where we shed off fat. Now, as we improve and grow muscle, we'll burn calories at a faster rate with the more muscle mass we grow. But in terms of cardio, we should be doing low steady state cardio. You don't have to be jogging, you don't have to sprint. Those have their advantages, but as far as just burning fat, low steady state cardio is the best. The same way cars use gas as fuel, your body optimizes fats and carbs as fuel, right? So if your heart rate, it all gauges off of heart rate. If your heart rate is super, super high, your body optimizes more carbs, right? So that's why, like, most athletes, if you play sports, they make you eat a whole bunch of carbs before the game because your heart rate will be at its peak and your body's optimizing carbs. That's what it's burning. You want to give your body that energy source, that fuel. In terms of burning fat, it's the complete opposite. We call it zone 2 cardio. Zone 2 cardio. If you get that that heart rate slightly elevated, and the equation is 220 minus your age times 0.75. If we keep it there at least 2 times a week, we have 2 days dedicated, just 30 minutes. We have 2 days dedicated to just that fat burning process, just shredding off fat. I call it the sculpting process. Now, when we stick to this whole formula, we stay consistent with this whole thing, you will get the body that you want, right? You will get the body that you want. You have no choice. You have no choice. For me, everything I did to the T, from mindset to habits to nutrition to training, I've actually put and documented. I've documented everything and I've put in a program so that guys like me or guys who want to become the highest version of themselves, they have something to look at and follow and have that fast track to get there. That's what I have done for me, the exact protocol that was for me. I give it to all my clients because I care and I want everybody to improve. Now, if you're a man, you want to become the highest version of yourself and you want to see what that protocol is and what it will look like for you, hit the link in my bio